Hi students, this is Badrinath and today's topic is CNS stimulants. Very interesting topic, very interesting, quite interesting. Okay, CNS stimulants and nootropics. Very completely new term, nootropics. Okay, right. So no problem. Even though if you are looking, if your brain is very dull, very lazy, very but dull, no problem. If brain is not functioning, also no problem. We can use these medications with the doctor's suggestion. That is CNS stimulation. It stimulates your brain. Even though you are very poor student in the knowledge wise, no problem at all. You can take a nootropics. Nootropics. So here I have told you the differences between the CNS stimulants and the nootropics. CNS stimulants stimulates your brain. It stimulates your brain functions, everything, etc. Whereas the nootropics, it gives you knowledge. It gives you to, it boosts up your memory power. Okay. Speaking of ability of speaking, language speaking, all these abilities will be improved by nootropics. Okay, so nootropics is for the memory and knowledge. CNS stimulants used to stimulate the brain functions. These are the basic difference. This is related to brain, this is related to memory and knowledge. Like that you can remember easily, right? Okay, and here you can see the goddess Saraswati Devi. So both your brain and nootropics, okay, are combined, are under the control of, as per the Hindu mythology, goddess Saraswati Devi. Okay, and here you can see Saraswati leaves. These are the called as a Saraswati leaves traditionally, and it is available in the form of Saraswati Lehem also. It is 5,000 years back. It started practicing of taking of these leaves traditionally. Okay, so here you can call it as Saraswati Lehem, or it is also called as a Brahmi Lehem. Brahma is a god. Okay, Saraswati is a goddess. Both are wife and husband. Okay, entire knowledge is in their hands only. Okay, you pray them so that you will get a little knowledge. So this is a Saraswati leaf. Name itself indicates it boosts up your knowledge and memory. Okay, right. So we are studying a subject of pharmacology 1 theory, and this is the highlighted topic, very important for medical and paramedical students. CNS stimulants and nootropics, right? Okay, the highlighted point is your topic. So when you classify the drugs acting on CNS, there are CNS stimulants and CNS depressants, two are there. Whenever you are overactive or hyperactive, okay, over enthusiasm, then you can use CNS depressant. When you are a dull, your brain is not functioning, cerebrum is not functioning, then CNS stimulants is used. You have to be in the optimized condition, right? Okay. So our topic is CNS stimulants, right? Here you can see the stimulation, brain, how much we are going to stimulate the brain. Okay, right. See, these are the drugs. These are the CNS stimulants are the drugs whose primary action is to stimulate the CNS globally. Globally means not the globe of Earth. Here, this part is here called as a global. Okay, not the entire globe of Earth. Okay, these are the drugs whose primary action is stimulate the CNS globally or to improve the specific brain functions. Brain functions will be stimulated by these drugs, okay, at higher doses. But if you are taking it higher doses, it produces the convulsions. You will get a fits, overstimulation. See, I already told in my videos that convulsions are due to the overexcitement of the neurons. Okay, if you are go on take stimulating your CNS, one fine day they may get convulsions. Okay, so at higher doses the cause is a convulsions. Clinical classification is given below. This is also called as a working classification. There is a 3 types is there. Number 1 is convulsants, which produces the convulsions. These drugs we are using as a CNS stimulants. You just imagine convulsants, not anticonvulsants. Convulsants, which produce the drugs which produces the convulsion. It is nothing but CNS stimulants. But if you are using at a higher doses, it produces a convulsions. You have to use it low doses. Then it acts as a CNS stimulants. So low doses CNS stimulants, high doses it produces a convulsions. Okay. Analeptics, respiratory stimulants. They stimulates the respiratory system. These are the drugs. It is called as a analeptic. Ana means brother, lift. Anna please lift. Anna lift. Analeptic. And psychostimulants. See, this is also due to the psychosis is not due to the brain dull function, brain over function. That is it leads to psychosis. It leads to psychosis. Very important. If you are doing your brain too much of thinking, too much of everything is too much, 3 much, 4 much, you will get a psychosis. That is a problem. That's why you have to read it comfortably as much as possible. That's it. Okay. Don't do over this one. Okay. This is called a psychostimulants. And all these are the dangerous drugs. All these are the very dangerous if you are using in excess quantity, right? So convulsants, analeptics, psychostimulants. See, yeah, here you can see the drugs. Convulsants, strychnine, number 1, and picrotoxin and bicculline. These are the three drugs. These are called as a convulsants. Okay, strychnine, stretching, you can keep in your stretching, strychnine, stretching. Picrotoxin, toxin. See here, he picked up the toxin. See here it is a skull with a crossbones. Skull with crossbone. This is a toxin. So he picked a toxin, picrotoxin, and bicculline, bike and line, bicculline, bicculline, like that. And analeptics, respiratory stimulant, also called as a respiratory stimulant. Number of times it was appeared in your examination. And what are the analeptic? Analift. Okay. Doxaprem. Prem means we know very well. In Hindi it is called as a prem means love. So I am in love with watch Doxa. This is a very Switzerland very company, but actually we know very Titan, these and all we know very well. This is about Switzerland. Doxa, here you can see the label also, Doxa, since 1889. Very good company, watches. Okay, watch company from Switzerland. Switzerland is very famous for watches. Doxaprem means I am in love with Doxa watches. And psychostimulants. 3 classes. Amphetamine, Amphit. See here, I am fit. Amphetamine, cocaine, psychostimulant. These make you, if you are using it over amphetamine, amphet, you will become a psycho. Okay, amphetamine, cocaine also, if you are using a cocaine, it leads to psychostimulant. Even caffeine, just imagine what happened. This is not my word. It is from Tripathi book only. Caffeine. But however, still some 3 to 4 are there, but not much important. But only 3 are important here. Amphetamine, cocaine, caffeine. Okay. We are used to take caffeine regularly, daily, twice or thrice or like that only. Okay, this is a classification, and here now you can see what is a convulsants. Very important thing you have to write. A convulsant is a drug. See here, which induces the convulsions, which increases the convulsions, or epileptic seizures, the opposite of an anticonvulsant. Opposite of anticonvulsant. Okay, these are the drugs. General anticonvulsants decreases the convulsions. Okay, whereas here convulsions increases the convulsion. That's why these drugs generally acts as a stimulant at low doses. It is a double-edged knife. One side high dose and low dose, like that. So at low doses as a CNS stimulant, but are not used for this purpose due to the risk of the convergence and consequently excitotoxicity. It is a problem. You have to use the word in the examination. Excitotoxicity, excitement of neuron and leads to neuronal toxicity. If your neurons are excited, it will be very problematic. It is called, a neuron will die, excite and die. That is called excitotoxicity. Okay, and analeptic. But actually, these drugs we are not using. Convulsants, strychnine, bicculline, and all we are not using because there may be a misuse of that. Okay, so generally these are not using. Convulsants we are not using to stimulate your brain. These drugs here, that only here mentioned. These are not, but are not used for this purpose. See here. These drugs stimulates the respiratory stimulant. They have a resuscitation value in the coma and fainting. In coma and fainting and all, actually we need some to stimulate the respiration whenever. So it stimulates the respiration and it makes your lungs fluid, solid fluid like that. Okay, so marginal safety is narrow safety if you don't use it higher doses. High dose may produce the convulsions and coma. And psychostimulant, these are the drugs have predominant cortical action. Their psychic effects are more prominent than its effect on medullary vital centers. Okay, it stimulates. Yeah, strychnine. First one we will see, it is an alkaloid. It is not synthetically prepared. It is an alkaloid obtained from the seeds of strychnine nux vomica. Strychnine nux. This is a nux vomica seeds. These are the very dangerous. If you are taking it, it increases the heart and cardiac arrest. Also, it leads to that. Very poisonous. It looks like anjuru seeds, dried anjuru seeds, not wet anjuri, dried anjuri seeds. Okay. Nux vomica and potent, see here, potent convulsions. If you are taking it regularly, cardiac arrest and convulsions will come. Site of action is it acts on the spinal cord. It is a neurotoxin. It produces a neuron to excite and die. Excite and die is called as a neurotoxin. Here you can say, yeah, strychnine. It is an alkaloid from the seeds of same strychnine and potent convulsion. Site of action is spinal cord. It blocks the glycine receptor. Here, see here, strychnine negative. They have given negative means that it blocks the glycine receptor. So what happened? Hence the postsynaptic inhibitory response to glycine will be blocked. So glycine receptor blocked. So glycine will not bind here. So glycine signal here, it cannot work because there is no glycine here. It results in the stimulation of the neuron and the brain. Okay, they stop the glycine and increase and make your brain active. Okay, end point is tonic convulsion. So if you are using it regularly, whenever there are tonic convulsions, you stop the drug. Stop. That is the end point. It's just like a titration in the end point. Okay, and the side effects extremely poisonous. 100 mg is fatal. See here, just 100 mg is also fatal. Suffocation, tremors, convulsions. Okay, eeriness, and death is usually taking place after 3 or 4 convulsions. That's why this is very dangerous. Okay, death may occur during the interval. So exhaustion, paralytic asphyxia, okay, but not much important. But keep in your mind, 3 to 4 convulsions, there may be a death. Next is picrotoxin, obtained from fish berries. It looks like after cutting a fish, it looks like this. Fish berries, okay. East Indies, okay, Anamitra coculus. It produces a potent and spontaneous convulsion. Spontaneous means immediately it produces, and vomiting also. Site of action is medulla oblongata. And bicculline, it is a synthetic compound. It produces a convulsion. It is completely synthesized in the factory. So like that you can remember. Bicculline, bico, completely synthesized in the factory. It is not from molecular. Whereas this one and this one is natural. Okay, but keep in your mind, strychnine mechanism of action is glycine blocking, whereas a picrotoxin and bicculline both are having a same mechanism of action. This is a blockage of GABA receptor. GABA, we know very well, GABA is a cooling. Cooling is nothing but GABA. Number of times I use it to tell. GABA is cooling. Cooling is nothing but GABA. So now what you have to do, you have to block the GABA and GABA receptors. When you block it, what happens? Your neurons will be excited. Actually, GABA will avoid the excitement of neuron. Here, we will stop the GABA, so that nerve will start the exciting. If you release the GABA, nerve will be dull. Nerve will be dull. So GABA is antagonist. So it blocks both. Okay, picrotoxin as well as a bicculline. Both are having the same mechanism of action. Whereas a strychnine is a glycine blocker. So GABA A antagonist, so blocks the GABA receptor. Here you can see picrotoxin and bicculline. Here it blocks. So GABA will not come and unable to hit here. So the nerve will remains here excitement. Okay. Hence no influx of the chlorine. Okay. So neurons remains excited only. If you release the GABA, neurons will be cooled down. Yeah, doxaprem, it acts by, see here, doxaprem injection, HCl injection is available. Doxa, I am in love with the doxa watches. Here you can see the doxa. It acts by promoting the excitation of the, promoting the excitation of central neurons at low doses stimulates the respiratory center. At low doses, it stimulates doxaprem. It stimulates the respiratory center, stimulating the carotid and aortic body centers. Aortic, that is, it is available aorta near the heart. Aortic. High doses produces a convulsions and arrhythmia. This is also very, very dangerous. Used for COPD and in infants apnea. Contraindicated in muscular diseases. Don't use in muscular diseases and epilepsy. Side effect is restlessness and tachycardia, because it is all stimulations. No, it causes a brain. Okay, that and all the thing. Okay, amphetamine, amphet. It is a mechanism of action of amphetamine. Here you can see dopamine transporter, monoamino oxidase inhibitor. Here, very, very interesting one here. This one, amphetamine mechanism of action is very, very interesting. Very small thing. First of all, you have to keep in your one goal that dopamine will not be here. That is the main objective of amphetamine. So that's why it works out. Okay, dopamine is a suppression. Amphetamine, dopamine is a neurotransmitter. For it suppresses the brain. It suppresses the brain and it suppresses the neuron. Okay, whereas amphetamine, see here, it replaces the dopamine here. What is the main target of the amphetamine is dopamine should not be here. Dopamine should be here. See here, how many it increasing the dopamine here. That is the main thing. So whatever is there dopamine here, it should be vacated and it should be transported to here. Dopamine. Okay, that is the main target. What you have to keep in your mind. Total, there was a 5 mechanism of action. I will explain you. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. These are all the 5 points I will explain you. Okay, amphetamine, very, very important one. Number 1, it replaces, see here, number 1. Amphetamine replaces the dopamine as much as possible. Number 1. Okay. Number 2, it inhibits the DAT. DAT is nothing but a dopamine transporter. So it inhibits that, see here, transporter. Actually, this transporter it makes the dopamine into here. Dopamine influx is there. Whereas this 2, it stops the DAT. So there is no influx of dopamine. So dopamine will remain here. See here, dopamine is remained here. Dopamine reuptake will be inhibited here. That is number 2. Number 3, here generally dopamine is released and dopamine is released here. This will be enhanced by the amphetamine. Here, outflux is enhanced. Influx of dopamine is inhibited. Outflux is increased. See here, that's why it is called this arrow mark. It is an influx of dopamine. This is an outflux of the dopamine. So amphetamine will inhibit this and encourages this. So what happens automatically? Dopamine will be here. So dopamine concentration, see how many dopamines are here. Concentration is increased here. Okay, number 1. Number 4, it inhibits the dopamine degradation. That is a myo is an enzyme which inhibits the which causes the dopamine to break down. Here what happened for amphetamine kills this. So dopamine concentration increases here initially. But however, due to the second and third mechanism, whatever dopamine is remained here, it will be sent out. Okay, sent out. And 5th one, some direct receptor agonist actions may be contribute the same points what I have explained here. 5 points. Keep in your mind. Dopamine system dysfunction is linked to certain symptoms of depression. So dopamine is nothing but a depression of neuron, like that is important. As a low motivation, depression, dopamine. So you have to replace the dopamine in the neuron. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 mechanisms what I have explained, you have to tell in the examination. And cocaine mechanism, see cocaine here, cocaine will act. So this is an influx. This is also same mechanism. Cocaine. See here, that is a dopamine influx transporter here. Influx. So it will be prevented by this. And whereas dopamine reuptake, this you see here, dopamine reuptake also inhibited. So dopamine influx, dopamine reuptake will be completely inhibited by the cocaine. Here also you can see cocaine. This is a dopamine transporter, DTA, dopamine, dopamine transporter will be blocked. So whatever here dopamine is released, it will not be taken down. It will be reversed only. It will be reversed. See here. So we have to vacate the dopamine here. That is in the transmitting neuron. This is a receiving neuron. So dopamine, we have to make it vacant in the transmitting neuron. Yeah, we came to the last, nootropics, also called as a cognitive enhancer. Don't scratch your head. Cognitive enhancer, cerebroactive agent, cerebroactive agents. So cognition is a mental action. What is cognitive enhancer? What is cognitive? Cognition is a mental action of acquiring a knowledge, curiosity, acquiring a knowledge and understanding the through thought, experience and senses. What we are doing, the process of learning through the senses, experiences, through the thinking, we are learning, understanding. They encompasses the process, they boost up the process such as a knowledge, attention, memory, working memory, just like RAM and ROM, storing memory, judgment, evaluation, reasoning. Reasoning is very important. Computation, problem solving, decision making, comprehension, language speaking, everything it will be improved by the nootropics. Indications. We are used in the Alzheimer's disease, multi-infact dementia, that is memory loss, temporary memory loss, dementia, mild cognitive impairment, learning defects. Learning, while you are learning, there may be a lot of defects will be there, and brain stroke, to grow the brain after surgery. Just imagine, after the brain surgery, brain may be some damage, because surgery they did, no, some damage will be there, because they will put the knives and all. After that, to grow the brain after brain surgery also they are using. And mechanism of action increased globally, regional blood flow will be increased. That is the main mechanism of action, increasing the blood flow. Okay, supports the neuronal, direct support of neuronal metabolism, okay, etc. And enhancement of neurotransmission, improvement of that is here. This is a classification. This is the last slide. These are the cerebroactive agents, or nootropics, or cognitive enhancer. Only three mechanisms of action I have already shown you. Cholinergic activators like Caffine, Rivastigmine, Donepezil. See here name, Donepezil, Donepezil. So it is a brain booster. So if you starting solving the puzzle, if you done the puzzle, your brain will be boosted up. Your nootropic, it is nothing but, puzzle is nothing but nootropic. Okay, Rivastigmine, Caffine, galantamine. See here, galantamine, and glutamate NMDA antagonist. This and all, Donepezil, galantamine, already mechanism of action I have already discussed in their respective sections of the videos, and I have already uploaded this in the Alzheimer's disease and all. I have already uploaded. And memantine, memory, memantine, memory, glutamate. Okay, and miscellaneous like Saraswati Leaves, Saraswati leaf, and Ginkgo biloba. It is also biloba, Ginkgo biloba. It is also wonderful medicine. Acts. It can be used in a number of diseases. Ginkgo biloba. Okay, it is also from plants only, plant sources only. And piracetam, pyretinol, dihydroergotoxin. This is also from ergot alkaloids, I think. See, ergotoxin, and citicoline. Okay, Ginkgo biloba. Yeah, so I will end my session here. Only classification, and here you can see mechanism of action, etc. That's more than enough for your regular and competitive examinations also.